Happy Monday. It's a magnificent Monday. Come on in, Facebook friends. Let me know where you are, who you are. This is Rev Kev here. I'm here to experience some good times, to catch up with you, to connect with you in what we're calling Rev Kev's Help Desk here on the campus of Unity of Sacramento International Spiritual Center. I am so glad to be with you. Will you do us a favor so that we can make sure this is all working? If you're hearing us and seeing us well, just send us some thumbs up. If you would in the chat room, send some thumbs up in the chat room. Let us know that you're hearing and seeing us well. We're going to be checking to make sure we can see that that is working. And then I would love for you to give us your name and tell us where you're joining from. And let's just flood this space right now with some love. I know we could use some love. I know we could use some good connection. And I'm looking forward to using this time for that purpose. So let us know that you can see and hear us well in the chat room. And then go ahead and share this. Share this. This is our beloved community. This is a time of gathering in for the beloved community. It's my time to spend some one-on-one time with some of you who have questions about what's going on here at Unity of Sacramento. What's going on with me? What's happening with you, Rev Kev? I know you've been going through a lot. What's happening in our justice work across this country and here locally in California? And then let's take some time and get some of your questions answered. You know, if I can be of support to you with some of your important questions, shoot those in, and we're going to be looking for them as we move through this time together. And I will be sure to answer all of your questions to the best of my ability. I'm going to just peek into the chat room and see who I can see. All right, let me see who I can see in there. We have a little soundback loop going on, so we're going to correct that. The microphone that's in the studio is too hot. I can hear myself coming back through, so we don't want that to happen because I don't want to distract myself from concentrating on you. So let's see what we got here. Let's see who we have here swimming with us in this live thing. I'm going to check this out myself. And we're going to get started in just a second, just working with the technical aspect of it all. I'm seeing, let me see on my Facebook page, keep sharing, help get folks in. Let's build a little following here. Let me see what we have here. All right. Revy, how's it looking over there in our chat room?
It's looking good. The chat room is up. We don't have anyone in just yet, but I know people are coming.
All right. I just want to make sure it is live and working. Great. It looks like it's live and working.
That it is. High definition.
All right. Well, fantastic. I am going to first of all, start out talking about what's going on with me. What's happening with Rev Kev? You know, I have to say to you that this has been a really challenging period on a personal level. I have been busier than ever before, and for a pastor to have to physically close the doors of the church, that's a big stretch. That's something we never imagined would be happening before. But what I want to say to you is, though it has been a challenge, I've found a new resilience, and what it's opened up in me is a creativity like never before. And our team has been more creative. As you know, we're moving through a double pandemic, and that's been a challenge, walking through this season of witnessing our brothers and sisters who are impacted by COVID-19 disproportionately losing their lives. Having for the first time memorial services virtually, not being able to go into a hospital to hold the hand of our loved ones as they transition. That's been really a challenge for me, and I'm sure it's been a challenge for a lot of families and spiritual leaders across this country. And so I've personally asked myself, how can I be as compassionate, as patient, as understanding as possible in order to support people moving through this period. So it's stretching me in whole new ways, being more creative, being more compassionate, being more connected. Of course, then there's this social justice work that we've gotten our hands into. That's been a whole lot. It's been a whole lot. It's just been extra. I'll be honest, there are days I just don't want to get out of bed. And yet I have made some commitments. You know, I can't like undo the commitment I've made to this work. And so because of your prayers and your love, an amazing team that we have around here, both at Unity of Sacramento and in our social justice work across this city, I have felt your love and support. But just real talk, I'm ready for the 5th vacation. I haven't had the first vacation, a real vacation, time away. But what I recognize, beloveds, is that it is always darkest before the dawn, and I believe we are approaching a powerful dawning of a new era. And so keep your hearts in love, your support, your encouraging words, your cards and letters. Those things really come through. And to be quite honest, I'm a hugger, you know, and so I know I might be suffering from a little bit of hug deficit disorder, HDD. If you know about HDD, type that in the chat room. Come on, HDD. I'm feeling a little bit of the HDD right now. But I'm loving you, and I thank you for caring about me. My family is adjusting quite well. They have turned my house into Ross University and Ross Gymnasium. All the kids, we've decided to keep them home and not send them back to campus. And they're adjusting quite well. I must say they miss their friends, and you know how it is. You can't be with your roadies. And so they're having that adjustment. But what we've decided to do is just take it one day at a time. If we can't handle it one day at a time, you know, one event at a time, 1 hour at a time, and sometimes one moment at a time. But we as a family are doing okay. I'm happy to say that my wife is thriving during this period. She just received a major honor here from Hub Magazine. Special shout out to our friends at Hub Magazine who acknowledged her with the Exceptional Woman of Color Award in 2020. So really happy for Anita. Come on, give some thumbs up and some hearts for Anita Ross. She's doing her thing with Women for Equality. And so we're still pressing, you know, as a family on all of these various fronts. It's a lot to handle. It's a lot to hold, but we're doing it. And by the grace of God, we are being successful thus far. Let's ask the question or answer the question. One of the questions that was sent in to us around here at Unity of Sacramento, and that question is, why did we close completely, and when will we reopen? Why did we close completely, and when will we reopen? So question number one, our ministry is always open. It's actually, we're in our 100th year of having a ministry that is alive and vital and committed and reaching out and working harder probably than ever before. So our ministry is open. Our campus is closed. Our campus is closed and has been closed because our commitment to exercising wisdom and an abundance of caution at this particular time. As you might know, many in our spiritual community, like many faith communities across this country, have a number of individuals who are high risk or in that high risk category. And so I don't personally feel it is in good wisdom or good interest or exceptional congregational care. I don't think it's practicing exceptional congregational care to potentially expose anyone to the virus in the name of testing God. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. And so we made the decision, myself and my board stood with me on this decision to say, let's close the physical doors to such a time as we know that we are in a category of ministry that has been cleared to be open and operating without any restrictions on our ability to interact and engage in this church. I don't want anybody to die because I opened the church for services. I believe our services can happen in safe and creative ways, such as we're doing with our live stream, and we've been hearing from many of you who appreciate that. But at this present moment, there are no plans for reopening the physical campus for Sunday services. We're choosing to see this through, to ride this out on your behalf and on the behalf of so many. And you know the other thing, real talk, in talking with my board of trustees recently about this very subject, we all agree that this community is one of those hugging communities. This is a huggy, lovey-dovey kind of congregation. And if they said we could bring 50 people on this campus and social distance safely, chances are great someone, after having not seen each other since March, we were like, we don't know if we can trust ourselves. We don't know if we can trust ourselves not to want to break out and give a hug and love on each other. So we've decided to keep the doors of the physical campus closed for services until we are cleared categorically to be able to operate without restrictions and without any threat to anyone's health and safety. And I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your writing to me about it and asking me this question, because I know I want to get back. I miss us. I miss all of the ways that we connect and share. It's been rough. It's been rough. But know that we're being faithful, prayerful, and spirit-led in this decision and process. So I just want to let you know how important it is to me that you understand these decisions that we're making right now, okay? So I just want to put that out, and we will keep you updated. So here's the other question that we received regarding, are there any modified ways in which we might reopen or come back? Will we do drive-through services or drive-in services and that sort of thing? And presently there are no plans for that, but I can give you just a twinkle of good news about that. Yesterday, with our Sacramento area congregations together, clergy caucus, bringing faith leaders across a variety of backgrounds together, we hosted a live stream or simulcast outdoor Lament to Hope celebration. And it was an opportunity for us to remember those who have lost their lives due to COVID-19. And what it was an outdoor service where the clergy were on the platform and contained in the platform area, and anybody participating on stage or in the platform area, and the entire community who came to participate in this outdoor service were in their cars the entire time. At no point were they getting out of their cars. And so we saw this, I actually witnessed and experienced that this was a thing that could happen, and the way people said amen to the speakers and interacted with the speakers is by pressing their horns. And so I actually saw it firsthand, people be able to do this creative social distancing type of event, and we didn't have any hitches. There was no violations in terms of people breaking the social distance protocol. So if there is a glimmer of hope, this is the possibility that I will have a conversation with our board of trustees with and my staff to see what their comfort level is with doing something along these lines. But I do want to say I have seen a successful example of what happens when we social distance outside and in our cars, okay? So, in fact, since you're watching live, if this is something that you think would be worth trying or looking into, just give me some thumbs up in the chat room. Come on, thumbs up or hearts. Let me see. Let me get your responses about that. I'd be curious to see what you think about that. Cool? All right. We have also been asked, how are we showing up at this particular time as a community? How are we showing up? What are some of the things that we've been doing on this campus in response to COVID-19, in response to the racial pandemic that we are experiencing? So among the things that we've been doing, I'm very happy about our angel response team on this campus, who have partnered up with members of our board of trustees to make sure that we participate in Masks for the People. Unity of Sacramento has actively been providing masks and hand sanitizer to you and members of our local community, and that's one of the ways we've participated. We've also been partnering with Blessings in a Backpack to make sure that the kids who are out of school have been receiving meals on a regular basis during this period, because as you know, there are individuals who are not in school at this time, and they miss important meals that they would ordinarily receive while being in school. So we have participated and continue to participate with Masks for the People and Blessings in a Backpack. We've also been doing some home visits, and what I mean by home visits, we've taken care packages to individuals who are shut in and who simply cannot get out. Our angel response team is also making phone calls directly to our congregants to do our wellness census. You should have received a phone call at this point if you're part of our community. And we've been, of course, reading our daily word with you and just checking in on you to see how you're doing. So there are many ways in which we've been responding. And of course, we have been very much involved, really on the front lines, in the work to dismantle systemic racism within our community. That's been something that's just been inevitable because we've shown up as leaders in this moment. And among those things includes yesterday's demonstration. We presented with Sacramento area congregations together, over 56 faith communities, Lament to Hope just yesterday, where we, after our service of remembrance for those who lost their lives due to COVID-19 and police violence, after that service, what we did was we gathered in a caravan and we drove our cars across the city, over 100 or more cars lined up to behind a hearse to go to the state capitol to present what we call the 10 Commandments for dismantling systemic racism, that I played a lead role in authoring along with other clergy leaders from this city. And on like two giant type tablets, if you will, we delivered those to the California State Capitol, and faith leaders there were intentional about calling our elected officials to do their jobs in making sure that these 10 commandments for dismantling systemic racism are part of their agenda when they are thinking about us in the community. And that includes curbing the police violence and implementing laws that will stop the violence from police and our community. So many things there. We'll send that out pretty soon here, so you'll get a copy of what those 10 commandments are. So we remain engaged in the social justice work. We have also been actively involved in looking within our entire unity movement, of all of our 1,000 unity churches. We've looked at ourselves, and I've asked leaders from across the country to join me in meeting with the heads of our organization internally to look at ways that we can address systemic racism within our organization. And I'm happy to say to you that we were met with a receptive audience from our leadership there, and it's been going well. We're in talks, and there will be ongoing discussion with our leaders about ways that we can change policies, procedures, practices, processes, and people who serve as barriers to our intention of being inclusive, diverse, and co-creating an integrated organization that leads to the building of the beloved community. And so we're on the front lines of those conversations. It's just been so much of this going on, but we've been in the room. We're at the table. We're having these conversations because if there ever was a time to make the change, now is that time. Yeah? This is the time. Going to do a quick check-in, Revy. Let me know if we have any comments in our chat room right now. Just wanting to see how we're tracking.
We do have one or two comments in the chat room, Rev Kev.
Let's see what we have.
We N-O-E Go.
Noemi down in Florida. Hey, Noemi in Florida.
Yes, she really wants to see those 10 commandments that you spoke of.
All right, Noemi, we will be getting the 10 commandments posted here pretty soon. So just continue to watch our Facebook pages, and you'll be seeing them posted here real soon, okay? I promise that. Next couple of days, okay?
And we have a few other people on, however, they haven't checked into the chat room yet.
Okay.
I just sent out the text letting them know that we'll give them a shout out if we know that they're there.
All right, fantastic. It's a little bit, the music is a little up here for me, so I just want to make sure I can hear my thoughts. So if you can adjust that for me as I get back to some of these questions.
You got it.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about how the Unity of Sacramento staff is doing. I'm really wanting to say to you that your Unity of Sacramento staff, they're the dream team. And when I tell you they have been champs rolling with the punches of this pandemic, I mean they have really been resilient with all of the changes. Why? Let's look at what we had to do. You know, part of what we had to do is limit the number of days per week we could be open, right? And so with closing the doors of our campus, that meant the degree of activity that was taking place on this campus, and you know we are a hub for community on this campus. So that went down significantly. All of the events that we host here, all of the ways in which we engage community on this campus, wow, which meant the demand for the number of people in this building at any given time kind of went away overnight. And so I sat down with the staff and I talked to them about this, and we made arrangements for individuals who would be temporarily furloughed or had to take time off or not be able to come in. We worked out with each member of the team what was it that they might need in order to continue to stay connected with us. And we've gotten everybody in a good situation. We've recently been able to bring others back on in a more with more hours operating on the campus. We said goodbye to Linda Holt, who was our receptionist. She had been with us for an administrative manager, had been with us for many years. She moved on because the decrease in hours just was a challenge, a big challenge for her. But we brought on Janelle Short and Smalls, Janelle Smalls, who stepped right in, and we've been operating seamlessly. Your beloved Sue, she's doing well, who takes care of our grounds, our building, and on the maintenance side of things, keeping everything beautiful and clean. She's been with us. Of course, Rev E has been working 24/7. Thinking of people, Reverend Charles and Dahlia with the music ministry. They've been working around the clock to make sure that in this new COVID-19 environment, we are able to get out for you, music for our Sunday services. And so we found ways to keep the staff resilient. And overall, we've heard from no one that there have been any sicknesses or deaths related to them or their families. And so we're grateful for that. And this team that works every week to bring you the live stream, we are, let me tell you, over and above and beyond the call of duty to make sure that you are receiving your live stream every Sunday. I call them my COVID, what do I call them? The COVID, I always get this wrong. What is it? The COVID team? Quarantine. My quarantine. We've been together since March, and it involves all of the technical folks that makes these services possible for you. And so grateful for our Unity of Sacramento team that keeps on keeping on despite these challenges. And everybody's healthy and safe. How are we financially? That's a question that we received. I won't be giving a financial report with charts and graphs and all that, but what I want to say is that we've been very blessed with many of you who have been faithful. You've continued to mail in your tithe and offering support. Some of you drop your gifts off to the spiritual community during the week when our office hours are open. Some of you have jumped on board and become auto tithers to our spiritual community. And so in that way, between reducing the amount of hours on our staffing time and the amount of hours that the building is in usage, creating, using energy, etc. We've that saying, treading water. We've been able to tread through this experience without feeling in danger of having to close our doors. And so I'm grateful and thankful for those of you who are contributing. And I'm asking more of you who, if you have not stepped up and become an auto tither or an automatic giver, please download the app. Take the time to download that app and go ahead and make a recurring gift. That's our saving grace right now. Those of you who have found our Unity of Sacramento app on either of your platforms, your Android platform or your, I believe it's the iTunes platform, the Apple phone platform, and you download that for free. We load that up with all sorts of wonderful resources that you can use, including access to our services and videos and music, and it's just a great tool for you. But it's also a place where you can make a recurring gift to Unity of Sacramento. And I'm telling you, if you would take the time to make that recurring gift to Unity of Sacramento, it would make a huge difference in that question. How are we doing financially? We're doing well because there's a part of you that is powering this work. And so I invite you, if you have not done so, get the free app and make a gift that comes through just an amount weekly. We ask people to look at least a minimum of $25 a week, a minimum. But for those of you who are spiritually mature and you know the power of tithing as a spiritual practice, put your tithe to the test in this ministry and continue to see all the great things that come out of this ministry. I am an automatic tither. I have been for 10 years. Right off the top, I tithe off of the gross of my income to this spiritual house, and both Anita and I are at stake in that way. So we walk our talk, and that's through it all. So I just want you to know that financially we are stable and we want to be better. We don't want to be concerned of any imminent danger. We'd like to rebuild our reserves and be looking to thrive, okay? I also want to say that our Board of Trustees has looked into some of the aid and support that is available for organizations like ours, and we did receive some support thus far from, I believe, the Small Business Administration, which provided us with a little breathing room, a small grant, I think of about $33,000, something like that. And we're looking at other things that will just provide a little more breathing room for some of the things that are needed here on your campus, okay? So we're looking into all of those things like everyone else is doing to keep things going and to keep things thriving here. I should also tell you that this is my 10th year as your senior minister, and at some point we'll get a chance to celebrate that milestone together. But I want you to know that your Unity of Sacramento Board of Trustees has been working around the clock to make sure that I'm here with you for another 10 years. They have been getting me reassigned in the role as senior minister by renewing my contract with you. So that is happening as we speak, so that there's another term of service here for you. And I've been so grateful to have had this as the place I have been able to come and serve over these years. And so just know that that work is going on. And your board has been making a number of important decisions on behalf of the spiritual community. They're meeting regularly. They're weighing options. They've formed committees about a variety of things that are going on here. So know that your board is busy at work. And I know most of them are zoomed out, but we've been using the tools of the trade right now to help us stay connected and stay safe during this COVID-19 period. Just about finished with some of these questions that I received in advance. Okay, the building and grounds. What's going on with your big campus? Oh my God, this campus has some delayed maintenance on it, obviously. And so here and there, we've been having some of our board members and some of you who volunteer around here to come in and to volunteer some of your time to keep the grounds manicured and blowing the leaves. A big thanks to Jazz Dexter, who's come in and taken the lead on that, and our own Sue and others who come in for these hands-on Unity days, it's activities that you can do outside. And still we have more work to do. Just because the building is closed, as you know, in order to keep these buildings and facilities operable, you have to keep ongoing maintenance. And so we are involved in doing just that, and including finding the right contractors to install more of your air conditioning units. The blessing is we haven't had to have this AC cranking throughout the summer right now, but we still have more to install. So there's work going on under the leadership of Reverend Eric Donaldson, our Senior Associate Minister. Things are tracking along there. So I just want you to know that that's happening. Grandma's backyard, that's the next question. What's happening with Grandma's backyard? Oh my God. I just want to say that it's kind of a God-sent idea at this particular time, because the next time we gather may need to be outside, right? So what I want to say is there's been a tremendous response from literally all around the country for individuals who want to see Grandma's Backyard come into fruition, including we have attracted a landscape architect who has presented beautiful drawings related to that, and pretty soon we'll be sharing that with you. Excuse me. We have volunteers who are developing the marketing materials for that. And for those of you who know, Grandma's Backyard is an outdoor urban green space for racial healing and reconciliation that is going to happen right here on our campus. It's a model for how we can create safe space for people in urban centers to come together across lines of race and class and difference and handle our trauma and drama around race in ways that brings about healing and reconciliation, where we can have courageous conversations. And it includes an outdoor community garden, a labyrinth, an outdoor play area for children, including a splash pad and tree house. It includes grandma's benches. Oh my God, it's just so much to Grandma's Backyard. Murals and dedications to our untimely ancestors created by race-based violence. We'll dedicate murals to them on 3 different walls. It is a beautiful space, and we've gotten some drawings and some support coming in to get that going. So that has not gone away. We have not forgotten, and there are some meetings that have been taking place, getting ready for the big meeting where we'll call you together, those of you who have raised your hand and say, hey, I want to support Grandma's Backyard. And I must say, it continues to prove itself as a timely idea for addressing the kind of racial divide that we're experiencing in our country. How do we get to that place of healing? We believe Grandma's Backyard is going to be such a place where that can happen. So just stay tuned for that. That more will be coming out shortly about that in significant ways. So I'm very happy about Grandma's Backyard. And I think that is what I have to share related to some of the questions that have come in now. So Rev, I want you to come out for a moment, and if you will, just come on out for a minute and check in on our folks. Hey y'all, move my laptop over here. Okay, I want to turn this music off altogether and then just talk a little bit about the Q&A for personal. Okay. Yeah. All right, beloveds. Thank you for, just had to get a little technical stuff handled. I'm now taking a moment to look in and see who we have with us here. All right. I want to take a minute and just check in with anyone who may have a personal question. You know, you may need some love, some support, an opportunity for me to hear any of your questions that you might have about getting through COVID-19, because it has been a huge, huge challenge for all of us. And I'm here as a spiritual leader, but I'm also here as a fellow sojourner, someone who has reached out personally for support when I've needed some support. And a person who is your friend, someone who has been walking with you. If you're on any of my platforms, we've been walking together for a little bit here now. And so I'm just going to check. I promise to make myself available during this time to see if we can answer any of your questions that you might have related to what you're going through and growing through. during this COVID-19 period. And so I'm going to take a look. All right, I'm seeing some of the feedback here. So any questions from anybody regarding what you might be experiencing during this COVID-19 period, and how I might be able to speak to some of that. I will tell you, as you're maybe considering your own questions, I have personally addressed many of your questions privately, from individuals, as I've said, individuals who are living through domestic violence, to people who are having financial shortfalls and what to do about that, to individuals who are walking through divorces right now. I mean, because one of the things that has been occurring is that people are, due to sheltering in place, people are with each other more often and are coming to realize how much or how little they want to be with each other. It's been a very interesting time. And then some of us just need basic, support with, how do I handle my stress? How do I handle my temper? How do I manage the fear? How do I get through the anger and the outrage that I've been experiencing? So, Rev E, are there any questions out there? Because I don't want to prolong this if there aren't. If you're good, give me a thumbs up. Rev Kev, I'm good. You guys have been doing a great job getting the information to us via the Facebook platform through your services. Rev Kev, thanks for what you guys are doing, your team is doing. We're good. We're taking it and we're working it in our lives, and that would be good news for me as well. But if you have questions, I'm going to just sit at the desk, little help desk, for a minute and see if there's anything I can respond to, or about any of these things that you might be wondering about. I see some thumbs up. Okay, Emelisa Hill says, this is such a great idea, Rev Kev, good job. Thank you, Emelisa. Where are you? Are you in Baltimore? Baltimore, Maryland? Fahiza's giving me thumbs up. Thank you, Fahiza. Make sure that you get all your class materials now. You were in that class. There's a lot of goodies we have for you. I got a thumbs up for Carol. Thank you so much, Carol. Oh, I miss your hugs. My goodness. Anybody else? Anybody else? Just a good check-in. Any good news you want to share? Anything we need to know? I love it. Rev E, you see any other comments before I wrap this up? This can be great.
None at the moment, Rev.
Okay. I believe that my update was what you needed. The questions that came to us in advance that have been on your heart and mind, I have sufficiently addressed for you. And at some time in the future, we'll do another help desk. We'll open up and just focus on questions you might have personally. But it looks like we are good. And it looks like I will get to end early and go to bed for a change. Early. Okay. So I see Dorothy Caston. She says, hi, Rev Kev. Hi, Dorothy. Miss you. Love you. Okay. Give Harry our love. We're doing our best out here in these streets to make sure that your spiritual home is taken care of. And we can't do it without you. And we so appreciate all the ways that you all are staying supportive of our work here.
Rev, I have one question.
Okay, we got a question from Rev E.
With regard to the census and the election, and specifically with regard to the election, um, what does the election look like here at Unity of Sacramento?
Well, you might want to answer that yourself. He asked me a question that he should be answering. That's Rev Eric. He's our senior associate minister here. And he asked me the question around the census. Well, first of all, we've been sending information out about each week in our Sunday broadcast. We've been talking about the importance of completing the census. If you have not completed the census, very important to complete the census, especially for those of us who are trying to find safe ways to make a difference. This is one of those safe ways you can make a difference. It's something you can do online. You do not have to leave your home to do it. And you're providing information. And when you fill out the census, which only happens every 10 years, you are opening a way to have the kind of representation that you need in your district, in your city, in your state, your county, etc., but also resources that get allocated to communities are determined by the number of individuals who participate in the census. And so please fill out the census before it's too late, because part of what happens is that sets a 10-year agenda for the kinds of resources that can come into your community, especially those communities that are underrepresented. And so what is the census address, Rev E, if people want to go online? And I haven't asked you to do anything that I haven't done. I've completed the United States Census already, and it was pretty easy to do. What is that email address, Rev?
I'm checking right now, Rev.
Okay. Somebody's texting me. All right.
Census, my2020census.gov.
My2020census.gov. My2020census.gov. So check out the census that way. My2020census.gov. Okay. And with regard to voting, of course, we all know that our voice is our vote. And obviously, this upcoming election is a critical one. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It is critical and pivotal for the direction that our country will take. And it has been faith leadership across this nation who have brought forth the most important issues around our human rights and civil rights and humanitarian, environmental rights. Those often come straight out of the faith community. And so we see no conflict as faith community in encouraging you to vote. If you don't vote, you forfeit your right to complain. You forfeit your right to place demands when you don't vote about the things that you want to see happen. And to be quite honest with you, when you vote, you give me something to stand up on, right? Those of us who are advocates and activists and who are actively involved in pursuing change. When individuals from our communities are voting in high numbers, it gives us more authority upon which to make demands, right, for change. That being said, if you're not registered to vote, it's important that you get out and register. And you can do that here again through the, what's the website for that, Revy, where people can go and register to vote? And we need as many people doing that as humanly possible, like especially in our community. What is the website for voter registration? He's getting that for us right now. Are you hearing me on that? Rev E? We may have lost Rev E. I hope we didn't lose.
I'm back.
Okay.
It is USA.gov.
Mm-hmm.
You can also go to CA.gov for California.
Okay, so to register to vote, USA.gov, USA.gov to vote, register to vote. And since we're talking to a national audience, check that out there, USA.gov. All right. Um, Now, as far as our campus is concerned, Uni of Sacramento campus has always been a hub for voting, the actual voting that will take place this November. And as far as we are aware, we will still be a voting, a polling place. We don't control how that looks. We make our space available, and then the local leadership that handles all of the polling activity will set it up. And I'm certain they will set it up in a COVID-19 safe and secure way. And we have been contacted about making sure that we are available in November as a polling place. So you'll get notification about that, those that are going to drop their ballots off in person, through the mail, about how that procedure will go, and that will come from our local election officials here in our region. And wherever you are, make sure you know where to vote, and if you're voting by absentee ballot, which I will be doing, and I'm encouraging many people to get your ballots in that way, get them in advance and get them in as quickly as you possibly can, so that they will be counted. Did that satisfy your question, Revi?
Yes, it did.
All right. Well, beloveds, we've been together for just about an hour here. We've got one more minute to check for any other questions, comments, concerns, things that I should know, we should know, anything we need to know, or how I can be of support. Counting down.
Rev, I do want everyone to know that if they know someone who missed this virtual hall, that it will be posted on your Facebook page,
Okay.
also on the Unity of Sacramento Facebook fan page. We'll also put it on our Vimeo.com/Unity of Sacramento page, as well as inside the Unity of Sacramento app.
Okay, so Rev E is just letting us know, for anyone who may have missed this, this will re-air right across all of our platforms. All of the updated information that you need will be right there through our Facebook pages and our Uni of Sacramento app and the e-blast and across all of our social media platforms, so you can get this information again. I want to thank everybody for your presence, your resilience during these times, your cards and letters and phone calls and emails and ways that you've been concerned. I know some of you want us to just throw the doors open and let God work it out, but that's not the way I work with God. So the time will come and we will be reaching out to you as we make progress toward such a day. We're still open to you as a ministry, and so you can always reach out to us. You can call Uni of Sacramento 916-368-3950, 916-368-3950. You can write to us or email us, office@unityofsacramento.com, office@unityofsacramento.com. If you have any prayer needs or concerns, you can also call for prayer. We are here. We aren't going anywhere. We are on the move, and we are loving you through it. And I'm thanking God that all of you are safe and well and just healthy. And so just want to thank you for tuning in and checking in tonight, get these important updates with you. And I will see you next Sunday right here on Unity of Sacramento Live. Take care. Peace and blessings. We'll see you soon.